Welcome back to Bull Buggers. This is part 2 of the how to make a brandy. Here we've got our peach brandy that we made last week. If you haven't seen it, don't know what, go back and have a look at the other video. It smells nice. Let's put our hydrometer in and have a look. See, we started off with 1.055 and now we're down to 0.990. So the sugars, there's no sugar left in here, I don't expect at all. In fact, we'll do a little taste test. Nice and peachy. There's no sweetness at all. It's actually quite bitter, so the yeast has done its job. It's converted all the sugars to alcohol. I'll go over that now with a little diagram to explain how the hydrometer works, and then we'll go from there. It's a winner. This diagram, you can see that the hydrometer started off quite high. So in part 1 of my peach brandy video, you saw that the starting reading was 1.055. Now that it's dropped and the sugar's been used up by the yeast and converted to alcohol, my reading is now 0.990. So what I do now is I take those two figures and I subtract the one from the other. So it's 1.055 minus the 0.990 gives me a total of 0.065, which I then multiply by 131.25. That gives me my alcohol reading of 8.53 alcohol by volume, and that's what I'm sitting in my beer at the moment, which I'm happy with. Okay, so now that we've got the beer sorted and we're happy now with how it's come out, we're going to decant this just so that I don't have the pulp in it. If I run my still slowly, I could probably get away with the pulp in, but I'd rather keep it out just in case the bottom, if with the gas, you direct heat onto the floor, and it's like if you're making a soup or a stew or something like that with bits in it, you can end up scorching those on the bottom of your still. So I prefer, although I just got to be careful how I do it, but I prefer to take my solids out and just have a liquid in my still. So we'll start the decanting processes and then get on to stilling. So let's get this out of the bucket first. Another tester. Oh, this is going to be a good one. Here I've got simple setup. I've just got my bucket. I've got a funnel with a sieve in there just to keep the solids out, and I'm literally just going to stick this in and siphon off. What I'm trying to do too is I don't want to take right from the bottom, because that's where the yeast is settled at the bottom. So I'll have my hand just a little bit above it and try and keep the any solids at the bottom or the yeast out of my mash that I'm going to put into the still. And it's as simple as that. Okay, so now we're going to just decant into my bucket, into my still, hopefully without messing. All of that in. Right, that's that gone. And no spillage, which is a bonus. The more beer you got in your still, the more alcohol you're going to get out at the end of the day. Alright. Alright, so that's done. Let's stick that up here. And we are ready to start setting up. Here in my still, what I'm going to do is I took a little bit off at the end and put it in here. This I'm going to put in here, and I'll explain to you now why. It's about 3 litres. This little keg, little barrel can do, it's an 8 litre one, so I don't go more than halfway. So I'll be sitting at about 30, 35, almost 40%. The nice thing is that this has alcohol in it already. So not only am I now going to be putting through the steam of my alcohol in through my thumper, but it's now going to be picking up extra fruit flavor from the peaches, plus there's that alcohol that's in here already. Then also I'm going to put from the run I did before. This is also a peach brandy. I'll stick that in there. That's the heads and my tails, and that go on top. Right, all set up. I'm going to get my gas going. Alright, that's going. Then while that's starting to warm up, I'll do my dough seals on this on the still and on my thumper, and that's then pretty much it. I do also it's probably a bit of an overkill, but I will also, now that I put this on, I'm going to switch my water on for my condenser. Okay, so I've got my dough seal on. It's still nice and tacky. As nice thing is as this heats up, this becomes rock hard. The other good thing about using dough is it doesn't stick to the copper afterwards. So it's easy to get off and easy to clean. You basically just soak it in water and it comes straight off. So this is now starting to get warm under my heat. Then I'll do the same on the barrel, on my thumper. Because it's made out of wood, and as I heat it up and cool it down, obviously the wood's going to swell up and then contract again. Also, I've taken this apart a few times, so these staves that the barrel's made out of aren't as tight as what they were when I first got the barrel. So a little tip that I do is I actually soak this in hot water for about 2 hours. That helps the wood seal up before I stuck the beer inside it, and that way I don't have any leaks coming out at the bottom where the beer is. Because at the moment the beer is sitting at about this level. Remember too, this has got alcohol in it. I don't want to lose that. I want it to add to the flavour of my final peach brandy. Alright, so my condenser's going. That's water cooled, so that's a little safety valve on, and now we just wait for the still to get to temperature, and then we'll be back then. Okay, we're back. That's nice and hot now. Thumper's thumping. Nice little rate. This is still going to get warm. Once this gets going, then we literally got 10 minutes and then we start running alcohol. Perfect. This is now getting hard from the heat from off that pipe, so that's cool. That'll seal that up, no worries. And my dough seam here is working nicely. No cracks or anything like that yet. I'll just keep an eye on that and see if I need to fill it up as I go along. Alright, this is looking good, thumping away nicely. Okay, cool. We got, this is now starting to heat up. This is hot. We're about here now, so that's going to start to, probably in the next 5 minutes, this will heat up. And this part here will go very quickly because it's going downhill after that. So probably in the next 5 minutes I'll be checking for my Foreshots. I'll explain the Foreshots heads, hearts and tails in the next clip, and we'll go through that now. Right. Oh, nice and warm. Alright, Foreshots are starting to flow. So we got alcohol starting to run. This is where the fun starts. So we'll let about a third of that jar fill up, around about a quarter. Then I'll do my lighter test and see if I'm still burning orange, and once that's burning blue, then I know I'm into my heads and I can put the heads jar on. So we'll let that run for a little bit longer. Alright, let's check this. A little bit darker because I want to see if we can get the flame in shot. Okay, let's see how we go here. Alright, so it's burning nice and blue. So I will let that go, and I will put on the heads jar. Alright, just a little tip. Never light the tablespoon close to the spout. If that catches a light, that's going to go straight up the spout. Seeing as it's all ethanol running there and it's at a pretty high alcohol percentage, so you're going to pretty much destroy your kit if you do that. So always light it away. Condensers nice and cold. Good. A lot of condensation going on there. Alright, I think I'm done with Foreshots. I'm gonna switch on the hearts. I'm gonna see here by burning some of the Foreshots and see whether or not that's been. So you can see, I don't know if you can see, there's a bit of yellow or orange in the flame. That's because it's still got methanol in it. But I'm happy now. That's on the last light I didn't get that. Alright, cool. Let's go to the next jar. Okay, so got my Foreshots here. It's about 150, 170 mils. That I'm going to discard. Not going to use that again. My heads jar, that's starting to fill up nicely now. When you start stilling, the first to come out are the heads and the Foreshots. They come off at the higher temperatures. You get those out of the way. The heads I will keep, and like I said before, I will use that again into future runs, which I'll add with the tails end of my run. So in this I can redistill, it'll take the alcohol out and I'll be able to reuse. Then when I'm done with the heads, I'll start here, and this is now the body of the brandy that we want, and it's commonly known as the hearts. So the hearts jars will fill up, and then towards the end it'll start to tail off when the alcohol level drops to about 40% and starts to dip below 40%. I know that I'll start hitting the tails. The tails part is in whatever you are busy distilling, you'll end up with oils coming through. The flavour will go away. Quite often the flavour gets rather nasty or whatever. So I still don't throw that away, because that, even though my tails jar it'll still be in the 30s. That's 30% I can use for a future run. So I can add that into my still with whatever I'm busy doing at the time. Add that to it, gives an extra boost of alcohol. There's no point in throwing it away. What often guys do is they will actually keep the heads and tails, and they might use that for a lot of other runs, even gin maybe. You can run that again and do like a spirit run, and then you add your botanicals to that to do a gin. When I started off with the my popcorn sour mash whiskey, and then I started fiddling with the brandies because everyone was doing fruit beers. I ended up doing gin because the girls had nothing to drink and I wasn't catering for any of the female friends. So gin's always handy to get into, but that'll be a later video as we go down the line. So yeah, in the beginning, our main part that we want is the hearts. Then when it comes to the tails, we will, and that's why I do the little jars too, so that we can taste test them as well. One good little tip too, when you are running, the flavour changes through your run, and it's always good to either do a smell test or a taste test. Now, do not try shooters and stuff like that, because by the end of your run, you're going to be sleeping on the bottom of the floor and comatose. Rather just stick your finger at it, put it on your tongue and taste it like that. Do not drink shooters. The worst advice you can get is drink while you're running the still. It's going to go pear-shaped. You'll miss jars, will overflow, you'll knock jars over. So to keep it tidy, sniff and just put your finger underneath. I often do that, even though this is heads now. So I can taste now how strong it is and the flavours I want. When that changes to hearts, I'll be able to taste test, and I will see then that the flavours coming through, and then I know I'm in the hearts, and I can now be happy with the jars that I'm collecting for my batch of peach brandy. Alrighty, good to go. Okay, I'm coming to the top of my jar here of the heads, and okay, one for luck. Yeah, that's strong, but still nice and fruity. Lots of flavour in there, and I'm happy now. I'm into my hearts, so I'll put my heads jar aside and in the queue, and yeah, I'm happy now. We're into the good stuff, so that can carry on bubbling away. I think I need to, water's still nice and cold, but I'll probably change these bottles out because they would have defrosted by now. There's no ice left in them, so they're not doing anything. So I'll change those out and hopefully get to fill most of these jars up with this run. That'll be good. Okay, just finished with the peach brandy run now. Got a good run out of it. Ended up with 2 litres. Nice crystal clear alcohol. It came out at just below 60, about 59, just under 60% alcohol. So now for the next thing to do is I will knock this back. Of course, it is safe to drink now. I'll have a nice fruity flavour. That's tasty. Alright, this you can drink as like this, clear. I prefer to oak this now and turn it into a brandy with a nice amber colour to it. It just, I don't know what it is. You're adding wood to alcohol. It makes no sense, but it does. It changes the flavour and the complexity of the alcohol completely. So that'll be part 3 of this video. We'll do that, the oaking part of it. Part 4 we won't video because that'll be me drinking it. Cheers guys, see you in the next video. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget, give us a like and a subscribe. Cheers. Wow.